The problems facing New Zealand's primary sector have been mounting at a rapid pace. So I think it's time for open hearts and open minds. Well, welcome tonight to a very special edition of Sarah's Country, as we have the privilege of hosting the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year Awards and their very first virtual awards ceremony. Now, I'm also very excited to have my first co-host since pre-COVID in the studio with me, no other than the beautiful Justine Kidd. Welcome to Sarah's Country,
Thanks,
Justine. And how exciting is tonight?
Very exciting. We've got our bubbles. We're ready to go.
We hope you at home who are watching along also have your bubbles and have maybe put a bit of makeup or glamour on for the men, you know. Anything a bit more than a double brown, you know, just to celebrate. We will get to know a bit more about Justine throughout the show, as we hope to get to know not only our wonderful finalists, but you and our audience better throughout the show as well. And because for those of you who may be new to Sarah's Country, I'm Sarah Perriam and I broadcast every night from 7 o'clock across 15 different platforms. It's something I do Monday through Thursday, you know, just for a bit of fun. And it's, of course, in alliance with the wonderful team at Global HQ. Of course, home to that industry publication you know and love, the Dairy Farmer Monthly magazine, who are among the wonderful family of sponsors that makes this annual event possible. This is an interactive show tonight, and we love to hear from you in the comments below, wherever you are watching. And Justine, we have a lot of people watching from the UK.
Yay.
Because so we'll have some dairy farmers from the UK and Ireland potentially.
Welcome. So
we have some prizes tonight to give away for you as well. The major prize, though, let's talk about it. Valued at nearly $900. It's a place on the 8 Steps Leadership Program from sponsors tonight, Number 8 HR, among some other spot prizes along the way. Now, Justine, we're going to have some great commentary from you, because you're the industry expert in this particular field. And throughout, let's chat around the awards about, you know, how the challenges that the dairy industry faces and the opportunities, and how amazing, of course, our finalists are, because you're my trusty, knowledgeable co-host.
I'm going to do my best.
Let's think about this, though. We're talking about this leadership course that I'm sure they're all eager to know how they can win. But, like, do you think we're in a strong position to build on the skills that we need to navigate change, especially with this COVID environment?
Yeah, I think it's a really fascinating, and it's actually a challenging question to answer. I think for me, what we're facing in terms of our leadership is really the requirement to build courage and support into our sector so that we can be bold enough to ask the really big questions that need to be asked and actually put them into a platform where we can have a really mature conversation about them, you know, incorporate different perspectives and, you know, really attack the problem together. So I think, you know, have we got the skills? I'm sure we have. I think our challenge is providing the forum that we can bring that courage and that support around the people that are challenging the thinking and coming up with the new ways of being.
Absolutely. I'm really hearing from you a bit of Brene Brown, digging deep on a bit of emotional intelligence that we could bring to the sector. Just take that on board as well. So we have teased you about this very valuable prize we're going to give away by the end of this awards ceremony online, worth $900, a spot on this 8 Steps Leadership program from Number 8 HR. How do you win, you say? Well, wherever you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, we want to find the best answers. This is going to be judged by her truly, Justine. The best answer, your best suggestion, on how to keep a great team member engaged. I've got my own tips on how to keep the Irishman engaged. I'll share throughout the show. He loves me. He's rolling his eyes right now. We're going to read out some of your favourites, our favourites from your comments. I can see them all here around the awards. For our regular viewers and listeners of Sarah's Country, this is a special edition tonight, as we said, hosting the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year with my glamorous co-host here, Justine Kidd. So kick back if you have just stumbled on us by chance, but welcome to all of those families and friends around tonight's finalists as well. You know, whoever you are, wherever you are, you might learn a thing or two about how to manage profitability, people and the planet. So what is the vision and purpose of the Dairy Business of the Year competition? It is challenging paradigms to bring about ongoing improvements in farm profitability, developing resilient and sustainable farming systems, and recognising and reinforcing the value of motivated and innovative people within farming enterprises, increasing the awareness of dairy farming practice that minimises dairy's impact on the environment. And of course, it would not be made possible this tonight, 2020 Dairy Business of the Year, without the support of our sponsors that we'd love to ask you to support wherever you can. Our gold sponsors tonight, Headlands and the Ministry for Primary Industries, and of course the wonderful support of Nutrinza, Dairy Farmer and Dairy Exporter magazines, NZI, Pioneer Brand Products, Mineral Boost, Overseer, and of course Number 8 HR. I have the privilege to present and award the top dairy farmers in New Zealand alongside our sponsors, for they resiliently pay impeccable attention to detail in leadership, financial performance, maintaining a low environmental impact. And I couldn't do it without, as I've said, the fabulous knowledge of our industry leader here, Justine Kidd, joining us in studio live. Justine, you've experienced a lot around governance and decades of corporate management in the sector. Let's get to know you a bit more. Your background, how did you come, where did you start?
Oh, it's always such a great question, that one. Where did you start? So I'm from Tikawiti. I am the daughter of a rural accountant and a school teacher. So I grew up in a farming town, but not from a farming family. And I toddled off to Massey University and really found myself in the dairy industry at the end of that. And it's just been such a great ride that I've stuck in it all the way through. So I've been in the dairy industry in a whole lot of different roles and different places for my whole, post-university career.
So in terms of that career, what have been some of those big challenges you've had to navigate?
I think some of the biggest challenges have been, taking on new opportunities, but very early on in my 20s, I became really fascinated with people and organisations. And so I think one of my biggest challenges has been to stand in the place where people are the foundation and, the value of a business. And remembering that my career has spanned the, buy, leverage, grow, buy again time in the dairy industry. So being someone that has always, put and really believed that people are what make a business has probably been one of my biggest challenges over that time, when there's, been a lot of focus on just, almost growth for growth's sake.
And of course, lessons are one of the key things that come out of challenges.
Yes, definitely.
And what we take forward from them. What have been some of yours?
Yeah, I think big lessons for me are give before you take. And I've seen that, I've lived it in my own life, but I've seen it over and over again. Give before you take, always. Do the right things. So no matter what result you're driving for, do it on the right things that align with your values. Do not compromise that. Keep good people around you, and most importantly to having good people around you is listen to them. I think that's been, again, a stellar piece of the support that I've had through my time. And for the woman in the industry, we underestimate ourselves. So just say yes, make a start, and know that you'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, there is exciting things about dairy's future. It's not all doom and gloom. We are about open hearts and open minds here in Serious Country. What are some of those that excite you?
I think where I am now, probably the thing that excites me the most is our potential to create, a food system, whatever you want to call it, but create a way of being in New Zealand that people inside the sector and outside the sector can be really proud of, that they can believe in, and we can, take that forward. And what excites me is the requirement for new thinking and bold leadership to do that. You had Lindy Nelson on the other night talking about a national food strategy. You had Hamish, who had come back from his Nuffield, talking about how to engage people into the sector. And I think it's, those voices and that new thinking that excites me the most, with that end goal of everybody in New Zealand just being excited and proud of what we do in this agricultural sector.
Absolutely. And I'm all about new thinking, but I love seeing some action.
Yes.
And I tell you what, the finalists in the Dairy Business of the Year Awards certainly are
They know
about
how to take action.
taking that thinking and putting it into action. I'm super excited to learn more about them. And of course, the exciting things happening across the dairy industry as we delve into that with, of course, my wonderful co-host tonight, Justine Kidd. A reminder about that amazing prize up for grabs. All you have to do is write a sentence in the comments wherever you're watching below. $900 leadership course from Number 8 HR. Why not? We're going to draw it tonight. What is your best suggestions on how to keep a great team member engaged in your business? I've worked out a trick. Feed them.
That's a good one.
No one likes a hangry Irishman. They love their food. Right, so let's kick into why we're all here tonight, the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year. And your finalists this year are Campbell Farms Limited with George Campbell. Ruapuna Farms, Grant and Jan Early. Hopkins Farming Group, Waihora, Sean Southey. McCulloch Farm Partnership, Richard and Nadine McCulloch. Craig Lockheed Dairy Farms, Andy and Alan Grant. GE and KM Coxon, Hillsview Farming, Gavin and Carla Coxon, that is. River Terrace Dairy Limited, Brent and Rebecca Miller, and Andrew and Rochelle Morris. Emerson Country, that's of course Greg and Janelle Emerson. Hopkins Farming Group, Tokumaru Harvey, Harvey Arparu, Green Acres, Brad and Graham Pickett. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of judging the Dairy Business of the Year Awards, and the financial analysis that fairly compares these dairy businesses. And of course, the wonderful judges this year has been Michael Lawrence, the director of Naylor Lawrence and Associates, and Danny Donaghy, professor at Massey University. Justine, what do you like about these particular industry awards and the way that they benchmark the industry?
I'm a great fan of these awards, and I do not envy the judges. But I think what I really valued, when we had farms involved in these awards, was the amazing data set. So these awards are 100% objective. You put in your financial statements, you put in your people indices and data, you put in your environmental data, and it's really just purely judged on the performance. And then, every entrant gets this amazing data set that enables you to, take a step back and really look at your business differently, find out some insights, look at what, other people are doing, and ask the question, what's the difference here and why? And you can really see businesses grab that question, and when they, chew it over and work out the answer, they do, they go back, and it's that continual improvement. They change things, they do things, and keep on, striving towards what success is for their business. It's just a great data set.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of awards, it's the process and the journey of the reporting back on where you sit in comparison to the industry. And it takes a lot of courage and bravery, as we were discussing before. So again, congratulations. So let's kick off with the first award tonight.
Yay.
It's very exciting. We have the Best People Management and Performance Award. It is sponsored by the wonderful people at Number 8 HR, my apologies. This award and its metrics were designed by the team at Number 8 HR, and judging is based around staff stability, retention, cost and training. In addition to the metrics information given by entrants, finalists are interviewed over the phone by one of the Number 8 HR specialists, where they are assessed for compliance with HR legislation and good people practices. So let's find out who tonight's finalists are. Hopkins Farming Group, Tokomaru, Javier Pardo, River Terrace Dairies, Brent and Rebecca Miller, Andrew and Rochelle Morris.
Can we clap?
one more. Hopkins Farming Group, Waihora, Sean Southey. You can absolutely, isn't it great? You can't. It's sort of a weird feeling being this online to be able to celebrate. So our first three finalists and our first awards. And to present the award tonight is Tony Trussler, General Manager for Number 8 HR, and she has got a short message before her announcement.
Hi, my name's Tony Trussler. I'm the General Manager at Number 8 HR. Yet again, Number 8 HR is delighted to be part of the Dairy Business of the Year Awards, and we're really privileged to be able to present the 2020 winner of the Great Employer Award. And yet again, we've had some great quality applicants in this section, and this year saw many of the people scores creeping up above the 10 mark. Over the years, it's been particularly gratifying to see these incremental improvements in participant scores, as the scores are the hard data that tells us that your employment strategies are really paying off. This year, we've again seen a corporate farming business score well in the hard data metrics, and they have 2 farms in the final 3. Well done to the Hopkins Farming Group on this achievement, with their Tokomaru and Waihora farms, and in particular to Waihora, who were finalists last year as well. The outstanding performers of the year are familiar to us though, as they were our winners last year, and they've this year returned an incredibly high score of 13.54, the highest ever in the competition. Congratulations to Brent and Rebecca Miller of River Terrace in Canterbury. You've set an incredibly high bar, firstly with that great metric score, and secondly with the quality of work that you do on farm with your team, which became abundantly clear as we went through the non-metric part of the assessment. Your high attention to detail, your commitment to continually raising the bar, and your commitment and attention to your team make you thoroughly deserving winners for this award for the second year in a row. You'll be taking a break from eligibility for the award next year in line with the competition rules, so please tonight enjoy your well-deserved win, and our sincere congratulations on your efforts and your success. You are role models for our industry and for your community. Well done.
Congratulations to the winners. Are we going to do a wee cheers each time?
Definitely.
Congratulations. We have to pop another bottle by the Supreme. To the winners in the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year, Best People Management and Performance, going to River Terrace Dairies, Brent and Rebecca Miller, Andrew and Rochelle Morris. Congratulations, team. Now, Justine, what are some of the standout metrics this award is measured on?
I think it's got some really interesting information in there particularly about training, and not just the dollars that are spent on training on farm, but the hours that you invest in your people as well. So it actually picks up that informal shoulder-to-shoulder training that is so important for our people to learn and grow in the industry. So I particularly like that one. And then of course it has those other more standard metrics about how long people stay in the business. Also has some other interesting ones around unexplained or unexpected costs. So both in terms of unplanned leave, so sickness days or just didn't turn up for work days, but also things like milk grades. And so really a fantastic mix of what you invest, the performance of your team, and those metrics that you talked about in terms of stability and, team culture.
Do they talk to the employees?
Yes.
In terms of the good boss metric?
Yes, I have. I know that they have done that when it's been particularly tight at the top.
Yes, okay, so that's the clincher.
Yeah.
So make sure that you take that into mind for the future. I love that though, because in so many corporate businesses, don't they? They just put a line item, professional development.
Yes.
That's it, tick box done, and it doesn't mean
And often it's still
anything.
there at the end of the year.
Yes, yes, exactly. Hence conferences in May and June do very well out of it. Now, next up, we have the award for the best in environmental management, thanks to the great team at Overseer. The aim of the Environment Award is to encourage best environmental practice into everyday farming systems. This award requires compliance with regional rules, effluent, etc., and the overall winner is predominantly determined by the environmental score received as a result of the DBOY analysis. However, wider environmental incentives are also considered during the judging process. Let's find out who the finalists are. Hopkins Farming Group, Waihora. McCulloch Farm Partnership, Richard and Nadine McCulloch. Emerson's Country, Greg and Janelle Emerson. And to present tonight's award is Alistair Taylor, Business Development Manager for Overseer.
Overseer Limited are delighted to be able to support the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year Awards. Overseer FM is all about connecting farmers to science to support sustainable farm businesses that protect the environment. It's been a year since we replaced the legacy software, and we're delighted to have over 5,000 farms actively using Overseer FM to understand their nutrient management and greenhouse gas emissions. All farms in the competition were assessed using Overseer FM. This year's lowest environmental impact award was again a tightly contested race. Many farms demonstrated improved environmental performance from previous years, and others clearly have made sustainable land use their passion. The overall winner and runner-up was primarily determined by the environmental score received as a result of the Dairy Business of the Year analysis. However, wider environmental initiatives such as plantings and public engagement are also considered during the judging process. Our three finalists are Greg and Janelle Emerson of Emerson Country Limited, Richard and Nadine McCulloch of McCulloch Farm Partnership Limited, and Sean Southey of Hopkins Farming Group, Waihora Farm. The runner-up for the 2020 Environmental Award is Sean Southey of Hopkins Farming Group, Waihora Farm. The key features of the farm were very low nitrogen loss, 17 kilos of N per hectare per year, a large fully lined effluent pod, 12,000 metres cubed, 100% of waterways fenced, generous average 10 metre riparian buffer zone width, and irrigating effluent to soil moisture deficit. The winners of the 2020 Lowest Environmental Impact Award are Richard and Nadine McCulloch of McCulloch Farm Partnership Limited. Key features of their farm include low nitrogen leaching, 26 kilos of N per hectare per year, effluent spread over a large area of the farm, 54%, a feed pad system used to manage the high-risk winter period, significant effluent storage available on farm, 7,200 metres cubed, enabling the deferral of irrigation when conditions do not suit. 100% of waterways on farm are fenced, with 50% riparian areas planted, and they achieved the highest environmental score of 10. Congratulations to all of the entrants, and of course especially to our finalists and winners. We hope your example will encourage others on their sustainability journey.
Congratulations to the winner of the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year, Lowest Environmental Impact. The McCullochs, we're raising a glass for you tonight. Well done, McCulloch Farming Partnership, Richard and Nadine McCulloch. Now, Justine, what have you noted of the outstanding success from the McCullochs farming in harmony with the environment?
Well, I'm sure it gives the whole business a sense of purpose beyond just, the production or the dollars. And I think it's the type of thing that we're, really looking for is people that not only have great business performance, but have worked out how to do that in a holistic way so that their people, their environment and their business are all thriving. So it's just a great story.
And some of these numbers that we've got up on the screen are quite incredible in regards to the numbers that they've got there for N leaching. Yep. And particularly from their effluent as well. Is there anything particular that stood out for you there?
I think, that N leaching under 30 kilos a hectare a year is, that's just a great result, particularly given, their inputs and the performance of the farm. So, yeah, they're doing a great job.
I love it already. We were talking about people before, and of course with the environment, if you don't have good people and teams in your staff to be able to see out some of this environmental management. So I'd just like to read out some of these comments. So we've got Grant and Jane early watching, and they want to ensure that their contract milkers, Nick and Tina Gary, are also included.
Oh, lovely. Awesome.
And of course, we've got lots of our regular listeners, Doug Avery and Michael Ross and Jock Innes. They're all staying to watch this special edition of Ceres Country tonight. So wonderful. Thank you so much. And of course, Rebecca Miller, one of our already award winners to start with tonight, is watching, of course. So we have got got a massive prize to give away, Justine. Can you tell us a little bit more about this leadership prize?
Yeah, so the number 8 HR 8 Steps program, it's something that I've really used and integrated into all the businesses that I've managed. It is a fantastic program that really is practical, applicable. You go into it, and it really is 8 steps to great team performance. So, you get around other businesses and you learn from them, but just really, really functional things that you can take back into your business and make a difference with your team.
And all you need to do tonight to win that is, of course, put in the comments below what is one thing that you do to keep staff engaged. And it's really that simple. And we're going to draw this by the end of tonight. Whether there's one comment or not, we are drawing this. It's not taking us home. We also have, for those of you who like a bit of a spot prize as well, Justine said to me before, do you think this audience can make me laugh? And I said, well, they
tough ask.
They have a sort of a raw sense of humour, Justine. I'm getting to know them well, actually. A bit of dad jokes, they start to come through. But I always like a good pun.
Puns are good.
Yes. So we've actually been given some wonderful...
They take a bit of intelligence and wit.
But everyone's got a good one. And there's a lot of good farming puns out there too. Hey, cheat. Get on Google.
Yeah.
But in the comments below, we want the best farming pun. We've actually got 5 prize packs to give away for the 5 top puns, farming puns. Nutrinza cap, a Nutrinza Blossom Calf Milk Replacing Pack, 75,
Nice.
Pack of milk replacer, and a year subscription to Dairy Exporter magazine.
Oh, nice.
So $200 per pack.
Wow.
We've got 5 of them to give away to the top 5 farming puns. We're having a bit of fun around this awards, the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year Award. We've had people, we've had environment, and this is actually the next award I'm most excited about. It is the Business Resilience Award, sponsored by the great people at NZI. Now, this award is given to the farm with the lowest cost of production per kilo of milk solids. So let's find out who our finalists this year are. Ruapuna, of course, contract milkers Nick and Tina. Emerson's Country, Greg and Janelle Emerson. River Terrace Dairy, Brent and Rebecca Miller, and Andrew and Rochelle Morris. So, who will be the winner of the category of a wonderful topic, Business Resilience Awards? So today it goes, it's like we need a drum roll or something. It goes today to, congratulations, the winner of the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year Business Resilience Award, River Terrace Dairy, Brent and Rebecca Miller, and Andrew and Rochelle Morris, in your role as Director and Senior Consultant at FIDUS,
yes.
Latin.
For loyalty and trustworthiness, so...
That's you to it
us.
too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the rest that are involved in your business as well. Now we've got sorry, we're just going to chat now to Justine a little bit more about this award. It's all right. Must have not fed Joel enough tonight. But we've won
shoes.
Firstly, say congratulations. What a wonderful this farming duo.
Yeah, and great results.
And we were talking about the Business Resilience Awards. What's behind the metrics of that?
Yeah,
so
the Business Resilience Award is really focused on cost of production, and so it's how well a business can set itself up to navigate the highs and lows of milk price and climate and those sorts of things. So, the more you've got control of your cost, the more variability that you can, and volatility that you can withstand. So that's predominantly the purpose of this particular focus.
So we're just talking about you're Director and Senior Consultant at FIDUS. What are some of the learnings from your most resilient clients and how they navigate change?
Yeah, so I think the first thing they do is recognise.
So awareness is the first.
Yeah, awareness is always the first thing, and it's doing that early. So you find people that have got good systems in their business to raise the flags, see that early, and then they raise the flag and they ask for help. And usually whatever form that comes in, a supporting farmer or people like us, but they get those people around them and they make a plan. They focus on the biggest issues and they make a plan. And then it's always in the execution. So, you know, putting in accountability systems for themselves, so that they make sure that they keep just putting one foot in front of each of the other as they put that plan into operation.
And of course, the old only control what you can control.
Yeah, only control what you can control.
Which is very hard in farming because you
very important mindset.
Don't have too much control over weather and commodity prices.
No, and I think, you know, I look at Ruapuna Farms, our winners' results here, River Terrace Dairy, and, you know, cost of production at $3.93 this year, $3.84 last year. They've got control. You know, they're monitoring and they've absolutely got control of their inputs, which just sets them up for a good year after year.
So where's the industry average sitting at, and where the banks are sort of starting to shiver in their boots?
Shiver in their boots. Two probably different questions there, Sarah. It's quite regional. Like, you start to find that, you know, Canterbury has a lot of built-in irrigation costs, so they tend to be higher cost per kilo, which is a little bit challenging at these times because they also can be the more leveraged businesses. But like when we're talking about operating costs, you know, under $4 is really strong. That $4 to $4.50 is really solid. You know, that's going well. When you're up over $4.50, you need to start, you know, looking at where you can...
Going back to the whiteboard.
Going back to the whiteboard, and it's either, you know, what's your revenue, because the more milk you do, the lower some of those costs will be as well. So it's looking at both sides of the budget. And then, you know, the other point there too is the lower your operating costs, the more you can withstand, you know, interest and debt repayments. So just the more free money you've got to, you know, to pay for those things. So it's really important to have control of those operational costs.
And just getting yourself in a position to be able to better weather the storm, whatever
the storm throws at you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wonderful. So we've had our first 3 awards, and then we're going to go around the country. Looking forward to this. Joel, we're going to kick off with the regional awards. It's broken down into 4 areas: Northland, Waikato, the Lower North Island, and Canterbury. Can I just ask why there's no Southland?
Unfortunately, it's because there weren't any finalists that made it from Southland this year.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Anyone watching from Southland, that's a goal for next time.
That's right. We've had winners from Southland before.
There we go. So we're going to start to go around the country and kicking off in Northland. And this is in the Best Northland Farm Performance Award, wonderfully brought to you by the wonderful team at the Dairy Exporter. Before we announce who the award winner is for the Best Farm Performance in Northland, we're going to hear from our sponsors, Dairy Exporter. This is Sarah's Country.
The value that we can pull out of the Dairy Exporter is we get to compare our operation against other farmers around the country. It's about farmers telling their own story in their own words to farmers to evaluate that information and pick it up and apply it to their businesses and their lives as they see fit. You only need to pick up one fact a year and make one small tweak to your business, and you're more than paid for your subscription.
Now, I just failed to mention that the awards, these farm performance awards, where we go around the region, are given to the best farm in the region based on their financial performance. And this is weighted return on total assets minus 50% and operating profit margin 20%. And of course, we're going to start in Northland, as we said. And you ready?
Yes.
The winner in Northland Farm Performance Awards tonight goes to Emerson Country, Greg and Janelle. Emerson, congratulations. We're going to head there now to learn more about their farming operation in the north.
So we are up in Northland, and 75 hectare farm, milking approximately 190 cows, split calving, so 70 autumn, 120 spring, milking once a day all year round, and predominantly Jersey cows, aren't they? Yeah. We target sort of 72 to 75,000 milk solids, which is about 1,000 kilos a hectare, which is pretty good for Northland.
And
I started from the bottom in 2014. I was a farm assistant, I think I was earning like 30 grand a year. So coming from Sydney on our high salaries, our corporate life, coming to farm life, there was a bit of a shock to the system for Janelle. She's from Blenheim. So yeah, and that's kind of, we just grew from there. I left there 4 years later after managing it for 2.5 years, and yeah, we actually purchased this property here. And now we've just started sort of focusing on some capital improvements around the farm. Like this summer coming up, we're gonna concrete the feed pad, extend some more bins.
We've just put in 2 kilometres of fencing. We've retired some bush and we're going to put some riparian planting in and continue it, join it all up. Yeah, and then we're also doing some improvements with subsoil drainage, which is just going to help get some more grass in the paddocks.
So we've been here for, we've completed 3 seasons, we're in our 4th season now. Just sort of the writing was on the wall in my career especially. I could have been replaced by a computer in about 5 to 10 years, I imagine. Living in the city was cool, but when we had our young children, they were in a 72 square metre apartment. And it's just not a place to bring up kids in the city.
So once a day milking lifestyle is much better than full-time city work.
So we entered the dairy business of the year. Our accountant has always said we've got really good numbers. Being a structural engineer, I love working with numbers. Janelle's really good on the accounts. And yeah, we just entered. Basically, it sort of seemed like a natural progression for us. We've been involved with the Dairy Industry Awards for the last few years on the committee for Northland. Yeah, it just seemed like a natural progression, didn't it, really?
And congratulations again to Greg and Janelle there. We're taking out the Northland Prize. Now it's time to head to the Waikato. Thanks to the great team at Mineral Boost. We're going to go and find out who our Waikato Regional Farm Performance winners are after this short message from our sponsors.
This is Sarah's Country.
Welcome to Mineral Boost, the most accurate, convenient and safe way to get essential minerals into your dairy cows, helping farmers to increase milk production, prevent disease and eliminate metabolic issues. Mineral Boost is designed to overcome well-known deficiencies within pasture and supplementary feeds. Mineral Boost has been designed to be added to PKE, meal blends, grain, grass silage and maize silage. Mineral Boost has been formulated by leading nutritionists within New Zealand and contains high-quality ultra-fine calcium, magnesium and salt in one easy-to-use rumen dispersible granule. The rumen dispersible granule is patented technology, designed to act like a granule during mixing and transport and delivery. But once consumed by the dairy cow, it disperses back into ultra-fine particles for the best absorption by the animal. Mineral Boost granules have advantages over powdered minerals and include the benefits of less dust, less segregation and less waste. To the farmers, this means greater accuracy, convenience and safety for the mineral delivery to the animals. Delivery to the cow within supplementary feed is through silo in-shed feeding systems, mixer wagon, dry mineral dispenser and in-paddock feeding trailers. Mineral Boost has a range of products to meet farmers' specific animal requirements. Mineral Boost Classic is the base of all the formulations. Other formulations include High Mag, Rumensin, Bovatec and Max, which contain rumensin and organic trace minerals as Bioplex High 5. Mineral Boost Plus contains phosphorus and Mineral Boost Zinc contains zinc oxide for the prevention of facial eczema. A pre-calf product is also available. Mineral Boost is backed by a strong quality assurance program, allowing you peace of mind with a product you can trust. Mineralizing feed with Mineral Boost overcomes the need for pasture dusting and water mineral treatment. Mineral Boost is the most accurate, convenient and safe way to get essential minerals into your dairy cows.
Thank you so much for sponsoring this year Mineral Boost. And the winner of the Waikato Farm Performance Award goes to the McCulloch Farm Partnership, Richard and Nadine McCulloch, looking there at some of the statistics around their profitability on farm. Now let's head to the Waikato to learn more about the McCulloch's farming operation and this great on-farm story.
We're farming about 383 hectares here, milking about 630 cows with all the young stock on. We are 100% autumn calving, so everything gets milked through the winter, and then we dry off everything around February and then calve again on the 1st of March. It's myself and my wife Nadine, and I have 2 full-time staff, Todd and Reese, and Todd's been with me about 10 years now, and Reese, I think it's 3 years now. That's the team, and Nadine takes care of the calf rearing and helping me with other farm jobs, plus my 5-year-old daughter helps out sometimes. I guess the main reason we ended was just to keep trying to improve the system, and I mean, unless you're comparing yourself to other people, it's pretty hard to know if you're doing a good job or not. There's always been a lot of pressure. We purchased the farm just before the global financial crisis, and then so we went through that, the land prices crashed, and then of course the dairy downturn with $4 payouts. And now what's happening now, so the entire time we've been on this farm there's always been a fair bit of pressure financially, and it's always been a case of having to be trying to be on the top of the game, and dairy business, it's a way of trying to achieve that. You know, I just can't picture doing a job sitting in an office, not what I'd consider an enjoyable lifestyle, and you know, I think this is, and you know, it's a pretty good place to bring up a family, and the main thing is we produce such a great product. I mean, life would be a lot less interesting without cheese and ice cream and all the things you make with dairy products, you know. Your diet wouldn't be anywhere near as enjoyable. So, and I think in New Zealand we do produce a very sustainable product, and I think there'll always be a strong demand for dairy products. It's such a good product.
These are fantastic videos, aren't they? Really enjoy them. Thanks to the team there at Global HQ for heading around the country to film them. We certainly have a few more to get through. Heading now to the lower North Island region and the Farm Performance Awards. And this one is sponsored and brought to you by the great people at Dairy Farmer. And here's a message from the Global HQ team. Thank you so much again to all our sponsors in the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year. Now it's time to find out who is the regional finalist in the Farm Performance Awards. Congratulations goes to the Hopkins Farming Group at Waihora, Sean Southey. It's amazing what goes into putting together these award applications, and I'm sure we'll talk about that soon. But to finish off, we are going to head to Canterbury for the regional Farm Performance Awards in Canterbury. And we're going to be joined shortly. We're going to find out who the award winner is after the short break from the sponsor, Pioneer Brand Products.
I think I was about 89. I think I got into dairy farming as a cadet in the Manawatu. We got 340 hectares and we peak milk about 1,000 cows on there. We're currently milking 340 cows. Currently we're doing 1,200 a hectare of milk solids. We have 5 people in our operation, and we run a 8 days on and a 2 day off roster. Our primary focus is to grow as much grass as I can and to shove it down their throat to try and produce as much milk as I can. By keeping an eye on my post and pre-grazing covers and trying to minimise wastage in the pasture and try and get the pasture to perform, so we can get some good tillers coming through into the summer and have hopefully a denser pasture in the summer. The last season it was pretty kind really. It was quite a dryish sort of winter, but we ended up doing record production because of a good spring we had. It was quite favourable for the farm. The season just gone was probably one of the highs was doing record production on the farm. Sustainability is probably the big thing for us, I suppose, because we always want to be here. We are aware of our effluent footprint, and it is our footprint on our land for effluent is probably not as big as it should be. Trying to spread the nutrients around and trying to stop any overloading of nutrients in the soil and causing any runoff. The best thing about it is working outside and working with people outside, I suppose. One good thing about working in the Hopkins Farming Group is it's quite a comfortable environment. We get to mingle quite a lot with other managers in the group. It's more casual, it's more real. As long as you can get out of bed, it's pretty good.
Well, for those of you who know me, I like to get ahead of myself. No, that was a wonderful on-farm video from the Southies there in the lower North Island. And now we are going to Canterbury. Well, we are currently based, actually, broadcasting out of Lincoln University. The Best Canterbury Farm Performance Award has been sponsored and brought to you by the great team at Pioneer Brand Products. So let's hear from them before we announce the Canterbury winner.
Grown right here on the property. Look at this. Look at the colour. There is so much goodness in there. We kind of chop it up like this. Toss it together. And then we age it to perfection. And then, of course, we serve it in generous helpings. Maize from Pioneer.
And it's time to announce the Regional Farm Performance Awards for Canterbury. So congratulations to Brent and Rebecca Miller and Andrew and Rochelle Morris there at River Terrace Dairies. And that is a bit of a wrap around the country. Justine, I'd like to ask you, after we go and hear from this lovely on-farm story shot this week from River Terrace Dairies.
We're farming on River Terrace Dairies, and the farm is 325 hectares effective, milking 1,120 cows in mid-Canterbury and Rangitata. River Terrace Dairies has 4 staff plus ourselves. We want everyone to learn or know how to do everything, so they have variety in their jobs and not just doing one job every day, so they can have enjoyment and have say in what's happening on the farm.
I love it because of the people, the environment. Everything in dairy farming is living, it's changing, it's dynamic. So I suppose the reason why I love the people is because they're a certain breed. You know, we actually don't compete against each other. We combine our energies and talk to some really amazing people within the industry.
We take the whole business approach on farm, and our people are key. They're part of our family.
So family is farming family. We learned a long time ago to treat others as we'd like to be treated. And what we want to establish on farm is to enable and empower our people to take responsibility, but also to be part of it, to feel like they're actually part of the whole operation. The reason why we enter the Dairy Business of the Year is quite simply that we needed to benchmark our statistics, our numbers, against ourselves initially, and draw the line in the sand as to where we can improve. We need to be really specific and direct so we know where to target.
There's always room for improvement for everything on farm anyway. How our team operates and how our team can have more time to themselves and be more involved, and it's a whole team attitude we've got. Our farm for the future needs to keep on top of all the new regulations and things that are coming into our system to challenge us at all times.
I think this operation is a farm that we can always tweak, and polish, but if our people are happy, we're happy. The one thing that we'd like to train or teach young people coming into it, get ready for a wild ride. It's your attitude that determines your altitude. When you start asking questions and being curious and using your initiative, being proactive, you open more doors and more opportunities are available to you.
Congratulations to all our winners in the Regional Farm Performance Award. Of course, the awards is given to the best farm in the region based on their financial performance, and this is weighted return on total assets, 50%, and of course operating profit margins. And we do need to note that this year is the first time in DBOY's history to use the Global Dairy Farms analysis instead of Red Sky to analyse these financial and physical data. So we saw there on each of those winners that ROT and that operating profit margin. Benchmarking, how do they sit, some of those figures? To me, they're percentages, but
yes.
in terms of...
So the ROTA, or the return on total assets, that's a really useful figure because it tells you how much money the business is making relative to the value of all of the assets that are employed in the business to make that money. So it's a great one to benchmark yourself across the country. So if you're in Northland, where land prices are lower than Canterbury, it gives you a much more weighted, relevant benchmark because that difference in land value is taken into account in terms of that value. So it's the land, it's the cows, it's your infrastructure. If you're leasing properties, it has an adjustments for that. So it's a great benchmark. So that return on total assets, and then the operating margin, that is, I guess at its most simplistic description,
like a profit margin.
It's a profit margin. So it's how much money you made less how much operating costs it took to make that money, and the difference is the margin. So
it's interesting that it's more heavily weighted on that return on assets as opposed to profit.
Yeah. So and that talks about, I guess, the investment decisions of the business. It talks about the farm system, and so like that return on total assets. It's it's something that you need to have at a really good level if you're borrowing money, because if that number's not higher than the cost of your interest, then it's not a good look.
And that was actually leading into my next question. In Ceres Country, we discussed a lot around the changing, sort of restrictions and conditions on our banks into sort of accessing capital in our farms.
Yes.
Have you seen that in your role as the director of FIDUS?
Yes. We're definitely working hard in that capital space, both in terms of supporting businesses with restructuring balance sheets, looking at their business differently, looking at ways through capital constraint, and that enables us to have some really good conversations with their financiers, with their banks, and also looking at how we can get capital into the sector. So looking for opportunities to bring new capital, new smart capital into the sector that can see both the immediate and the long-term value of investing, in our agriculture sector and particularly in land.
And that throws us into our next awards, which is the farm system with the best financial performance based on input. This is broken down into low, medium and high input based. And see there, greater than 85% diet as pasture is deemed low, and the judging here 75 to 85% medium, and under 75% diet as pasture as high. So of course that is about how much supplement is being brought on farm, and that's judged and creating fair in terms of regional difference, I suppose.
Yes, yeah, it certainly helps with that.
So let's kick off. Do we want to hear from our wonderful sponsor of this segment, Nutrinza? And after that, we'll get through the winners of these 3 awards.
This is Sarah's Country.
I've found Nutrinza to be honest, reliable, always at the end of the phone, and it's good bang for buck. I've found my cows producing better than ever before. And because Nutrinza is Feed Safe accredited, I know what I'm asking for is what I'm getting, and every mouthful is exactly the same. I'd recommend Nutrinza to anyone wanting quality stock feed and quality service.
And as Joel had put up there, we're talking about the low input farm with the best financial performance. Congratulations goes to Craig Lockie Dairy Farms, Andy and Alan Grant. Just having a look at those numbers there, Justine, what do you make of that? That's pretty incredible.
They're very good numbers. Return on total assets of 5.2%. They've got 85% of their diet going in pasture and great operating margin there of over 40%. So again, you look at these numbers and you go, they're on 2,000 cows, 2,000 cows is a lot of cows and a lot of people and a lot of moving parts to manage. So take my hat off to them. They've got great controls in their business for great performance.
Congratulations, Andy and Alan Grant, for taking home the low input farm with best financial performance. And now we're going to the medium input farm with the best financial performance. Of course, our wonderful sponsors, Nutrinza. And the award goes to Brent and Rebecca Miller and Andrew and Rachel Morris from River Terrace Dairies. Now, we're moving into that sort of medium space, 75 to 85% diet on pasture. And these guys have obviously cleaned up a few awards already tonight, but what do you make of these figures?
I think the thing that really stands out to me is, again, 1,120 cows. It's a big system, and they're sort of more at the upper end of that medium, medium bracket in terms of pasture in the diet. And, that's really critical. They're obviously achieving high pasture utilisation, which is so important when you're starting to put more and more supplements into the system. That's what creates the profit out of these high input systems, is great pasture management.
And talking about high input, our last award in the input farm with best financial performance, sponsored by Nutrinza. And the award tonight goes to Greg and Janelle Emerson from Emerson Country. And they're up there in Whangarei. Great. Yes. Great the figures as well.
Yeah, outstanding. I look at that return on total assets, and I guess that's what we were talking about before, Sarah, 7.1%, reflective of both their performance and probably slightly lower land prices. So, great investment decision on their behalf. But again, 73% pasture in the diet. So even though, they're at the high input end, they're putting in a lot more supplements, achieving great pasture input. And their background numbers had 10.7 tonne of dry matter, of homegrown feed going into their system, and in Northland, that's no mean feat.
No, absolutely
These are good
not.
grass managers.
Especially in trying times. And what I've just learnt there from looking at some of these numbers, this is what's great about this awards, is they've created a level playing field to analyse 100 and something cows versus 1,200 cows
versus
side by side.
It's great data.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot that they will take away to recognise where they sit from an industry perspective as well. Congratulations to our 3 winners there in that category. We are getting closer and closer to the exciting time, which is, of course, our runner-up and our supreme. We need a short little drinks break. But before we do that, this is blowing up. I tell you what,
we've got puns coming out.
We've got puns, we've got suggestions, we've got everything. I think it's you, Justine, because they are busier than they normally are.
It's that great prize.
It is. Now, we've talked about 2 great prizes. The major prize, $900 leadership course, thanks to this is 8 steps.
Number 8 HR program.
And number 8 HR program. And you can win simply. We've got 2 entries into this. All you've got to do is tell us what is the best way to keep your staff engaged on farm. It's simple, 1 sentence. All you got to do, and we're going to draw this tonight. So whoever even if there's just 1 comment, That's the winner. Make sure all you got to do by the end of the show
It's
is
worth
put
it.
in the comments. Absolutely. What's the better investment than in yourself or your staff? And of course, what people are loving about the puns is that we have 5 prize packs to give away, thanks to the wonderful people at Nutrinza. I'm just finding them there. A Nutrinza cap. We've got one here actually. Oh,
yeah, these are great. I walk my dog in this regularly. It's my high vis.
Yeah, good work. Golly gosh. You can see you coming.
Yep.
Nutrinza Blossom Calf Milk Replacer bag, and of course an awesome annual subscription to the Dairy Exporter magazine. We've got 5 of these packs valued at $200, and we're going to find them. Joel, you can pick 2 of them just because you're leaving me. 5 the funniest farming puns. Alrighty, some of them here. What did the farmer say when he lost one of his cows? What a mistake. What do you call a farm?
You have to say that one slowly.
Okay, all right, I'll say the next one slowly. What do you call a farm when none of the cows give milk? An utter disaster. And Joel, because this is actually very accurate, it's past your bedtime.
That's good.
Joel's been here for a very long time today, so I'm sure for actually probably not as long as a lot of people have been up milking. Oh no, we're done with
Only
milk.
if they're in winter milk contracts.
Of course. But yes, I know that some of our finalists have been milking this afternoon, so you'll be hanging out. So hurry up, Sarah and Justine. We want to know who has won. But we're going to take a short break because, of course, our wonderful gold sponsors, Ministry for Primary Industries, and we did actually forget to play a video from the wonderful sponsors at NZI, that Business Resilience Award. And we're going to come back and we're going to be joined by Minister Damien O'Connor, who has a few wonderful words to say about the industry and how proud he is of the dairy industry. All that up shortly on this very special edition of Sarah's Country.
This is Sarah's Country.
Dear Aotearoa, dear home, with every turn of the tide, every seam of the seasons, look around at all we have, this plentiful way of life. This place is more than a setting of my story. I was grown on its meat and milk, healed by its plants. My hands have dug kumara from its soil, my feet tuatua from the sand. This fragile place is all we've got. It's vulnerable to pests and diseases, so we must guard as if our way of life depends on it, because it does. As my last sunset creeps over the edge of our precious island, I'll be asking one thing of you. Look after it. Protect it. Aotearoa, this is us.
This is Sarah's Country.
Kia ora, good evening, and I'd like to thank the organisers of Dairy Business of the Year Awards for inviting me to say a few words. It's proud to be part of what is the biggest and most important industry in the country now. We've been through some challenging times with COVID, with drought, and it's great to be able to celebrate on a night like this the success and the wonderful expertise that drives our dairy industry and drives our economy. The Dairy Business of the Year Awards
is an important showcase of the very best of our industry. I want to thank the organisers, but also thank our ancestors, I guess, for what they have done to build our industry to where it is. We enjoy a lot of success, but we have generations before us who have put in a huge amount. And I want to acknowledge one person who passed away, Mr. John Kneebone, who was part of the Waikato dairy industry. He played a big part in contributions through Federated Farmers as a dairy farmer. Thank you, John. I'd like to now talk briefly on the strengths of the industry. In spite of the challenges that we have, as I say, we're the #1 export earner for our country. And it was great to attend a training course a few days ago where we're trying to attract people into our industry. Now, it's been a challenge for some time, but the need is now very, very acute. We have jobs available for people, but we just lack, I guess, the enthusiasm from enough New Zealanders to make sure that we can fill all those job opportunities. And saying that, I have to say, after a little bit of publicity on TV1, we had 100 applicants for that course. So maybe it's a message to us all that through events like this, through a bit of basic promotion and shouting about how good we are and how good we can provide, how well we can provide opportunities for people in the future, maybe we can get more people into dairy because we certainly need them. I have to say that we have, as a government, been spending a lot of, I guess, your money, taxpayers' money, trying to keep our economy afloat, to make sure that we can get through COVID, keep people employed, and keep our communities and our cities as well going. They rely on the export earnings from the primary sectors, so we have to not only provide the jobs but keep our industries going to keep that money flowing through. We've had targeted wage subsidies. We've put money into training and apprenticeships, some of which is going into the dairy industry and other primary sectors as well. We have embarked upon a public house build program, and we've got infrastructure development through water, through roads, and through other things that have perhaps been underfunded for some time. So we're very proud of what we're doing as a government, and to say, trying to encourage not just younger, but all people back into our industry. A couple of issues like water quality that we've been rolling out, about our commitment to climate change initiatives that we signed up to as a country in 1997, and we were working through the best way of addressing that. And so He Waka Eka Noa is a partnership that we've built up between your sector, other sectors and government to try and best measure how our emissions roll out and then how to reduce them. And so we're very proud to have that partnership with you. On water, I think we've come to a sensible set of proposals, the details of which we're rolling through, and they may be challenging for some, but in the end, our ability to sell high-value products into international markets, particularly at this challenging time, will depend upon our integrity, the story behind our products, and that of good animal welfare, of good labour standards, looking after our staff, of good water quality and biodiversity management. These are all the key components to a story that we hope will be captured in Te Taiao, which is, I guess, the values-based system that we hope to roll out next week. Work from the Primary Sector Council, watch this space. We hope that it gives us an advantage over something like Origin Green, which worked for Ireland. We hope that it gives us a step ahead to say that we are the best farmers for the world. Look, just very briefly, I'd like to congratulate everyone who's part of this Dairy Business of the Year Awards. Being able to put your hand up, stick your neck out, and be measured by others is a brave move. But what you display and what you show to others is inspiration for the rest of us. So all the very best to the participants. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Zoom is the way that we work now. We used to be suspicious of it. We've been forced into a new world. I hope that you can appreciate that while we can't be there and physically, we can be there in spirit and still celebrate the success that is the dairy industry. Kia ora.
Thank you so much there, Minister Damien O'Connor, Minister of Agriculture, Biosecurity, Rural Communities, among other things in his portfolios, for taking the time to join the Dairy Business of the Year Awards and give that keynote presentation. Now, Minister O'Connor is going to stay on the line to present, of course, the Supreme winner. Minister of Primary Industries is our gold sponsors, one of our gold sponsors here tonight. Now, before we get into who is the runner-up in the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year, we've been talking about this prize package that we've got to give away thanks to Number 8 HR. $900 on this 8 Steps Towards Leadership program that we've been pumping along is such an asset. And there was Megan here was honestly the only person there for a very long time. We gave them a bit of a shove and a prod, and they're pouring in. So, Justine, Joel can choose the puns.
Okay.
A couple of the puns, which I will give away shortly. But, of course, I would like to, since you've been heavily involved in the dairy industry, governance and management, read out a few for you to choose from. Okay, some of them. Mary Hopkins says, a good morning at the start of the day and a thank you at the end is what. Always remember to be thankful for staff, simple words of appreciation to help them keep engaged, and that's Katie. Michael Ross has said if he was the winner of the prize, he'd ask if we could find it for a young farmer who would benefit. That's lovely.
That is a great thought.
This is a great one from Jan Early. Treat people like you would like to be treated yourself.
Yeah.
Sarah Gibbs has said, working on each of the staff values so that the needs of each individual are met. That's very important.
Yeah, it is very important and an easy one to overlook.
Exactly. We're not all cut from the same cloth, are we?
No.
Now, there's a lot of puns here for Joel to choose from. He loves a good pun. And, of course, one of our first ones straight out the gate was Megan Legg. Keep them engaged by keeping them in training and progressing their career. Hard. Keep them flowing in. After our runner-up, we're going to announce... I think just before our Supreme, we are going to announce this massive prize. And, of course, we will have some of these wonderful puns coming in. Keep your farming puns coming in. Oh, Joel, you've got a lot here. Knock, knock, who's there? Oh, you mean to say who's there? Joel.
Who's there?
Cows, go.
Cows go who?
No, silly. Cows go moo. Oh, goodness.
Dear.
You guys are like, come on, hurry up. Announce the awards. We are having a lot of fun. This is Justine Kidd and I'm Sarah Perriam, and this is a special edition of Sarah's Country as we lead into the runner-up and the Supreme winner in the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year. Now it is time. Joel, do a drum roll. Runner-up. But before that, we're going to head to our sponsors for the runner-up, Headlands. Thank you so much for the wonderful team, Warren, there for sponsoring us, and a few messages from them.
This is Sarah's Country.
We've been using Headlands and their consultants for over 25 years on both this property and other properties that we've farmed in that time. Headlands have been involved in all aspects of our farming operations and worked in with all our other providers, whether it be banks, fertiliser companies, vets, and that's worked really well and seamlessly. Staff friendly, people friendly. It's just so easy to work with and get the job done.
Now let's talk about these runner-up and Supreme. And so how does it work as we hopefully get Warren on the line to be able to announce the award from Headlands? We've got the awards there, the Best People Performance and Leadership, the Lowest Environmental Impact, the Business Resilience Award, of course those farm performance based on actual hard data, and the inputs as well. So we've got our finalists at the start. And then what basically the runner-up and Supreme is what the cream on the top when you lay it all out in a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's exactly right, Sarah. When you lay it all out, and the competition has weightings to make sure that we're weighting the profit, the people, the planet, so that they have a score system that enables those three things to be weighted, and then they add those end scores up together, and the highest score wins. So it's a great benchmarking tool. Adjusted is for relevance across the whole country, and then each each of those 3 areas is given a total score.
And they must become real ambassadors for their industry as well, in terms of people looking up to them and asking them for advice and things like that.
Yeah, usually they go around the country and have a regional winners field day, and it's a great opportunity to go and meet these wonderful people, have a look at their farms, and really ask them questions about how they do what they do. Yeah.
All right, shall we find out who the runner-up is in the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year? They are all standing by, waiting on the line so that we can cross to them. Oh, I'm so excited. This is very good. We need an envelope to
I
open
know,
up.
we do, yes.
And the runner-up is Greg and Janelle Emerson from Emerson Country in Northland. Congratulations. Now, with 192 cows, 74 hectares, 2.8 hectares to cows to the hectare.
Cows to the hectare. Yep.
Farming near Whangarei, and a profit margin there of 38.7%.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and I believe they're standing by, Justine, for our questions.
Oh, yay.
Welcome to the program, Greg and Janelle.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, what is the tipple to celebrate tonight? Better not be Spates.
No, up here in Northland, we're line red, actually.
So tell us just a little bit about your background and how you came to this particular farming property.
Well, I grew up on a dairy farm, and then went to uni and got a degree in engineering, studied that for 10 years, working in an office. And
we'd been living in Sydney for a while and then came back to Northland to go back to dairy farming, and we just wanted to find our own place to call our own and farm our own way, which is how we came across this one.
And what is it that the dairy, the life of dairy farming is sort of fulfills you in regards to? It's not just about the numbers, it's about people, it's about the environment, the holistic approach to your operation.
Yeah, well, we just have a great time on the farm. It's such a cool place to bring up the kids as well. They love getting out into the mud and getting dirty, and we love cleaning up after them. But yeah, they get into the planting as well. They've been planting at the local school this week as well, which it's good to see the whole community has that environmental outlook, and yeah, it's really cool.
Justine?
Oh, I've got a question. I certainly have a question, and especially after just hearing that bit of background. So you've got great financial results there, and when I looked back in the data, really well managed holistic business. So Northland can throw a lot at you, right? Between climate, all sorts of things, as well as the volatility. So what have you brought with you from that, background outside of dairy farming that enables you to monitor and track your business to get the performance that you do?
Yeah, I guess from coming from corporate careers, we do analyse everything, and so we always keep an eye on numbers and costs, and yeah. So
just the simple things, like I love watching grass grow. It sounds pretty basic, but that's what the job's all about. It's I thought coming back from an engineering career that just crunching numbers all day on a computer, that I kind of lose that technical side, but I couldn't be further from the truth that farming is physical work. You've got to get the basics right, but also there's so many numbers you can crunch and analyse, and that's why I like the dairy industry is it's so open and honest. You share your books and you're not in competition with your neighbours, so that's what we kind of like. Yeah.
That's fantastic. You certainly crunch your numbers well.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we say some of the judges' comments here, Greg and Janelle? You had the highest rota amongst the finalists, the highest total profit score, top 5% for environment. This was a real passion of theirs. A very different operation, being 192 cows, and the only owner-operators as finalists, a highly driven couple focused on maximising their results. So on behalf of everybody watching around the country and the world, we raise your glasses. Congratulations.
Well done.
Cheers to the sponsors. Awesome.
Fantastic. Oh, What a wonderful runner-up couple. I'm
amazing.
Tearing up a little bit. I think I'll do the same with the Supreme.
It's quite motivating, isn't it?
It is. And how fascinating about the corporate career and what you bring forward into it, and the fact that, you know, you're still very motivated by the technical elements of running a dairy operation, which I think a lot of our urban folk forget.
How much of a business the business of dairy farming is.
Absolutely. And how sort of satisfying and rewarding it is as well, to challenge yourself when you've got all those factors that you can't control.
Yeah. And you have to navigate your way through them. No 2 days are the same on a dairy farm.
No, absolutely not. And I know that people out there are getting itchy to find out who our Supreme winner will be. We do have a few things to get through before that, of course, who is the winner of our wonderful number 8 HR, as well as our puns. Joel, I think shortly I'm going to hand you over these puns, because before we get to the Supreme, we're going to take a short ad break and hear from, of course, the Ministry of Primary Industries on this Sustainable Future Farming Fund, as well as take a look back at Okahai Pastoral, the 2019 Dairy Business of the Year, and their journey over the last 12 months. While we do that, we're going to crunch our own numbers. Who is going to be the prizes of these 5 wonderful prize packs valued at $200 each, and number 8R's. Number 8 HR.
It's quite tricky.
Especially after some good quartz reef bubbly, that's for sure. It's all that going to come up very shortly as we get Minister Damien O'Connor back on the line to announce who is going to be your 2020 Supreme Award winner in the Dairy Business of the Year.
Can't wait.
This is Sarah's Country.
Every innovation, every leap forward, every new way of doing something starts with an idea. Often, that's the easy part. The real challenge is bringing it to life. Now there's a way to make that easier, a way to connect with others, to help explore and discover new perspectives, new opportunities, and new ways of doing things. A way to collaborate and take ideas from "it's possible" to "we did it." A way to shift gear and meet our challenges head on and create a richer future for our mokopuna. A way to get behind those with big ideas and even bigger aspirations. To give flight to truly transformative initiatives being developed for the benefit and prosperity of the collective good, for our sectors, our people, our environment and our country. SFF Futures is a new investment program from the Ministry for Primary Industries, designed to back new game-changing innovations across the food and fibre sectors. With an annual budget of $40 million and the scope to co-fund projects from under $100,000 to over $5 million, SFF Futures offers investment opportunities for innovative initiatives at every level, from small grassroots community projects to large-scale industry development. The food and fibre sectors need new ideas, and we want to help bring them to life. We need to keep pace with the changing world around us, to improve sustainability, to deliver more value, and to position ourselves as global leaders in our sectors. If you have an idea, big or small, that you think New Zealand needs, talk with us now, and let's see how we can go about making it happen. SFF Futures. Make it happen.
Okaihau Pastoral is a large intensive farm in the far north at Okaihau. It is 1,270 odd cows in total, and we normally carve down approximately 350 cows in the autumn and about 850 cows in the springtime. The focus is on production per cow, per hectare, but also combined with that is a focus on profitability all the way. Environmental sustainability is extremely important to us in all aspects that we do, but also the production just not being a once-er, it's got to be sustainable every year going forward for the future. We have a great analysis of all the figures, we scrutinise the information and we then enact on it. But key to that is a team effort.
It has been a fantastic effort by Joe, Janema, and well supported by Paul. And they have a great setup with their staff, support by the directors and the shareholders and any other professionals we bring around them. We are very proud of what Joe and Janema and Paul have achieved, but as a whole team, the whole group. As I mentioned, over the last 6 years, we've lifted production over 200,000 kilos. That doesn't happen overnight, and to help that focus to be achieved, we got involved with Headlands Consultants and subsequently the Dairy Business of the Year Awards. Having those awards scrutinise our business allowed us to actually dig deeper into the information and work on where we need to focus and achieve greater results. And that has happened. And we were thrilled to win the Dairy Business of the Year Award for Northland there about 3 years ago, and to win the Dairy Business of the Year Award for all of New Zealand last year was a huge thrill for the whole team. And it's fair to say that for some of us, it was the highlight of our farming careers. So it was a huge thrill, and we're hugely proud of it, of the award, of our farm and our team. We would also like to wish the incoming award winners, not only regional, but also the national winners, all the very best in achieving the results. And we know that you'll have a wonderful year ahead, meeting new people and contacts to take your business even further.
Wonderful journey back, looking back at the 2019 Dairy Business of the Year Supreme Award winner from Okahai Pastoral. It's up there in Northland. Now, I do have to apologise that he didn't want to come on the program as it was. This is Warren Morritt from Headlands, let alone me forgetting his wonderful announcement video that he looks so good on. So I just want to give a shout out that our sponsors, gold sponsors tonight, is Headlands and MPI. And Warren came on board to announce that winner. That, of course, was Greg and Janelle Emerson. And I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to the great team at Headlands and the consultancy work that they do, and they're part of the Intellect brand, providing consultancy services to farmers since 1994, beginning with the provision of on-farm dairy consultancy with a key focus on optimising farming systems to improve profitability, business resilience and sustainability. So if you don't know Warren, he's a good-looking chap, and
he's a good fun chap.
We certainly missed out on seeing his beautiful face there before, but my apologies, I owe you a beer, Warren, for that. Of course, we're building up to the Supreme 2020 Dairy Business of the Year. Who is it going to be? I will now hand over to Minister Damien O'Connor to make this announcement.
It's my honour now to announce the Supreme winner of the 2020 Dairy Business of the Year, and it goes to McCulloch Farm Partnership Limited, Richard and Nadine McCulloch. Congratulations.
From the McCulloch Farming Partnership takes home the 2020 Supreme Dairy Business of the Year from the Waikato. 630 peak cows, 245 hectares effective, a rota of 6.2 and an operating profit margin of 44%. And they join us now. Congratulations, team. How does it feel?
Yeah, very good. It's yeah.
Thank you so much.
Pretty nice.
Can't believe Supreme winners. That's
So what went into putting together your award application, and how detailed is it in terms of the intrusiveness of going into the depths of your business operation?
Yeah, I guess you've got to be prepared to really open up your accounts and hand over all that financial data and let people go through it and compare it to everybody else. So, yeah, you got to be, I guess, fairly open in that area. But I think you get a lot in return if you are open with that. And you know, we've entered in this in the past, and every year we've improved. And I think a lot of it's because of the data we get back from the awards.
Nadine, how important is it for you that this awards is an overarching look at every aspect of your business?
I mean, it's lovely. It's definitely lovely to get this award. It's great recognition, and I mean, this guy is amazing, and to have him at the helm of our team is fantastic. And I think that's a lot of what it is about. It's such a team operation when you're on a farm and you're running a farm. Without our staff, we wouldn't be in this position at all. And to have this award definitely helps recognise them as well, and recognises the input of everyone that's performing their job within the business. And yeah, I'm just so proud of this guy. He's just, honestly, he's such farmer down on the ground with his head, and yeah, to have him at the helm is, I mean, this award reflects that, absolutely.
It's beautiful. Now, I just want to touch on, we've a lot of support for the bigger team behind the farming partnerships and businesses that have been finalists tonight. Can you give a bit of a shout out to your team? Because I know they may be watching.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to give a shout out to Todd and Reese in particular, who they're my two full-time workers, and they've been with me for a lot of years. And it'll be difficult to do this without them. And they put in a lot of hard work, and they've been very loyal to us over the years. Todd's probably been with us 10 years now, and so I guess we must be looking after him in some way for him to stick with us. So, but it's nice to having both those guys with us. And then when we go away from the farm, we know that it's been well looked after, and that's important to us as well, because you need to have a life off the farm as well as on the farm. So having a good team on farm to take care of it when you're not there is hugely important. So, it's great to have them on board.
And it's nice to know that when you have a team member with you for so long who has no financial investment in your business, to want to stick around for that long. I mean, that's such a rewarding feeling that he's stayed with us, Todd especially, for 10 years. He's stayed with us for that amount of time. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. And equally, we look after him, we respect him and appreciate him for that.
Richard and Nadine, you're obviously doing a lot of things right to get those results, and like you say, keep someone in your business that engaged for that long. I'm really interested. You've entered before, you've done well in those in your previous entries. What are some of the big things that the competition has helped you focus on that has now got you, to be the supreme winner? Like, what are some of the changes that you've made?
I mean, for us, one of the big changes we made was moving from split calving to all autumn. And that was, to be honest, that was almost more of a lifestyle decision than a financial one, but it's also stacked up very well financially for us. And so that was a big change for us. But I think the awards have helped us look at where we've been strong and where we've been weak in the past, and we realised that we could improve a lot in the efficiency with which we used our pasture and our feed in areas like that, and we've worked a lot on that area, and that's showing dividends now. So, and we've been able to see that in the analysis of our data. So, getting that back and just making improvements on that has helped us a lot.
That sounds fantastic. It's so great when you see a couple that have been chipping away at bringing it all together, and it's come together, and just a really well-deserved result with just outstanding all-round numbers. Well done.
And the judges' comments. Obviously, last year's runner-up managed to buffer the drop in payout by maintaining a under 6% RO, so return on capital. A big strength in their consistency. They perform consistently well across all metrics. Second highest in ROC overall, second highest in total profit score, highest environmental score, and the top 10 for HR. Congratulations to you both, Nadine and McCulloch, from McCulloch Farm Partnership as your 2020 Supreme Winners in the Dairy Business of the Year. An absolute accolade in this industry.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic result. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, team. Go and knock the bottle off for bubbly. Cheers to you both.
Cheers to you both.
Now, before we sneak away, we of course have to announce the most important prize, which is our audience prizes. So it's not the most important. It's one of the most important. Joel, there's a few puns here. We have these $200 prizes, Nutrinza Cap, Nutrinza Calf Meal Replacer, and the Dairy Exporter subscription. We've got 5 that you can choose. I've got one for you. What do you get if you sit under a cow?
I don't know. What do you get if you sit under a cow?
A pat on the head.
Grim.
Thanks, Graham. You've been outstanding tonight. I think we're going to give one to Graham. We're going to give one to Julia Hopkins. And, of course, we certainly enjoyed the mistake one as well. And, yeah, there's certainly some more here. We'll get in touch with you directly to be able to have it. It's always a lot of fun knowing that you are watching along with us here on Serious Country. And the grand audience prize tonight, $900 number 8 HR leadership course for somebody, and I've handed that over to my beautiful, wonderful co-host Justine Kidd to announce who is your choice and why.
Some great answers in there, and they're all, so important. Like looking after our people is not a one pony trick, that's for sure. But Mary, I really, loved the absolute simplicity of what I call just good, good manners. A thank you or a welcome in the morning and a thank you at night. I think, that just goes such a long way. So well done, Mary. And Sarah, the importance of recognising the individual and doing what you can to meet their needs. So Mary and Sarah are my picks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and staying with us throughout this live broadcast, a very first for the Dairy Business of the Year. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed myself. First time I've had a co-host since pre-COVID, and what a wonderful choice in Justine. Justine, have you enjoyed yourself?
I have, thank you, Sarah. I was, nervous doing something different, but no, it's been great fun. And now when I watch you at home, I'll have an appreciation for all that goes in behind the scenes. So I really have enjoyed it.
Okay, let's just say you have an appreciation for Joel.
Absolutely. And well done to all of the entrants. Firstly, the finalists, and Richard and Nadine taking out their Supreme Award. Just so great to see, so motivating. It's been wonderful to be here.
And to close, can we also take the time to thank our sponsors? And Serious Country will be back Monday night from 7 o'clock, broadcast across 15 different platforms in alliance with the wonderful team at Global HQ. Good night and have a wonderful weekend ahead, wherever you are in paradise.